we've got some news already thanks to Eden0 on Twitter about the Fairy Tail sequel, and we're not going to be having to wait for long to hear about this because it is coming out July 25th. According to Weekly Shonen Magazine. And also as well, thank you to Anime Quad for letting me know about this kind of news, which I was really excited about to hear about, where I was like, oh, it isn't going to be that long until we get more Fairy Tail allies, I guess. So we've got so far kind of a little bit of the showing of what exactly is going to be happening. It's a lot of just information for the most part, which is kind of talking about Eden0. There's a little bit on the bottom there which is discussing about Fairy Tail, which is giving us all this information. It's referring as well to what's happening with the series, with the spin-offs. This is where a lot of that information leaked out about the City Heroes, alongside the other sequel that we got, and the spin-offs, and Season 3 finale. There was a lot of information that was coming out of Weekly Shonen Magazine about this, and also as well keeping an eye on some of the Twitters and stuff like that, whereas they were dropping a lot of information. So they're pretty much going on by saying hey, if you really like what you've seen so far from the first chapter or two of Eden0, then here you go as well. His old previous work and all that is getting this, it's getting that, and yeah, we've seen a few pages and panels before of what it's going to be about, and we get to see that it's obviously going to be involving Natsu, Laxus, and Guild Arts. We don't know how much of a heavy role that they are, but we do know this is definitely taking place after defeating Athnologia, and that we don't know if it's going to be the final chat. It seems like they're talking about after the final arc, but we don't know if it's going to be after the epilogue for the most part, where it's hopefully it will tie up some of the loose ends that we had, and hopefully some of the relationships with some of the characters in there. I think that would be a very nice thing that it did. I think that's a main thing that people wanted, where it's pretty much just obviously that Gray and Julia, they're dating, the whole Urza and Jalal thing is on there. Plus as well, I would just type a lot of the characters and stuff like that. I felt a lot of them kind of got left aside with some of their resolutions. Even some of them was we don't know kind of what their whole thing afterwards, where it's hey, what do you want to do now? The fact that we just saved the world for the most part after Athnologia is where a lot of our families and a lot of our stuff has been ruined, and we can't really go back to that. What we want to do, you didn't get to see so much of that with what happened to Sabretooth at the end, what happened to a bunch of the other guilds that were kind of helping them around the side, that kind of stuff for the most part. Even if there was a couple of pages and all that to show what was happening, and that's where I feel the anime is going to kind of fix a little bit. It's going to show you what some of the characters are up to around about the end. Also Sting probably being the master and stuff like that of the guild, and it'll show Natsu and all them just kind of just digging around doing it. They just, personally, I do want to see that 100-year quest. I think that would be a very interesting step up, where it's yeah, let's have a look at some of the other dangerous threats. Because at the end of the day, it's we did stop Magnolia. That didn't stop everything in the world. It's still going to be happening. There's still going to be needs of adventurers and all that, especially after that, after a giant war like that. It's going to need, the whole country of Fiora is going to need a bit of time to heal, and obviously some assholes and some probably up-and-coming dark guilds are not really going to get that. They're going to use that as their chance to strike. So there's a lot of places we can go with this, but I'm going to see what you guys think of us down below, and the fact that it's going to be beginning pretty soon, and it sounds like a lot of them are going to be beginning full-time to around about July, September and all that. So let's hopefully look forward to when they come out, and I'll definitely be covering them when we finally have some more information, and maybe potentially the first chapter of them coming out. So for me, thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.